So this week in the news, there's a TikToker who goes by the name of Mizzy, who I believe is in London. And basically they do pranks on TikTok. So one of the ones that went viral that I saw is they were walking around in London and there's someone like essentially out in their front garden and their door's open. And they just enter the house with friends. And you can see straight away the woman in the front panics and is like calling for the husband. They come down and they basically tell the kids, like, you know, we've got kids, they're going to be scared, can you please leave? And they won't leave, and they're obviously just like egging it up for a video. They've recently been arrested. I don't know about whether they've been like charged or anything, but essentially I was going to go through a list of things that they've done. So there's the one with walking into the random house. They harassed Jews in the area, which they've previously been arrested for. So one thing they were doing is like leapfrogging people in that area. They have repeatedly made videos where they go up to strangers and ask them if they want to die and be quite like aggressive and try and like scare people. Another one that went quite viral is they stole an old lady's dog and just ran off with it. They did later return the dog, but like obviously it's really upsetting for the old lady. And then they've also been tearing up books in a library, like in front of staff, in front of other people using the library, you know, obviously to get their reactions and get like a prank video. So the response I've seen online is obviously mainly negative. People are just like, what are you doing? You know, wanting the police to do something. But I don't know if you guys got any opinions or if you've seen any of the videos or any of the articles online.
Not bad.
Nope.
That's pretty much it. I've seen it. Like the old lady's dog one is really distressing. Like, I don't know, just the thought of like stealing a dog from an old lady just makes me sad.
Are they not like apologetic to any of this behavior?
No.
Oh God, no, they're not apologetic at all. So I don't know the exact terms of what they got like charged with, but I know they got a fine, and I think obviously they were told like not to do it, and they can't upload videos anymore, and they did it straight away. Like, it's like as soon as that happened, they went and
era
did more.
of pranksters was over.
I don't think it will ever be over because it gets views, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like he went up to women and he was like, he started stroking her, and she was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Do you want to die?" And then he starts reaching in his pocket. Like, I don't know. None of his pranks, because like none of it's funny.
No, it's not funny at all. In the situation, that woman in that video, she generally probably thought that she was gonna die.
Yeah, she's probably like really fucking scared. Same with like them in like they basically invaded that couple's house. Like if you see like a gang of teenagers like walking in, because it was like what 3-4 of them.
Yeah, he's not on his own when he goes in. Like,
yeah, so that's scary.
I shit myself seeing a group of teenage boys on the other side of the road.
yeah. So I mean, imagine like say like Kife's in the office, and then just like 3 guys just walk in, sit on your sofa, and you're like, please leave. And they're just like, nah. They're all, they all got their phones out. They're all filming.
That's fucked.
It's scary, isn't it? It's gonna shake you up, like.
Definitely, 100%.
I'd be irrationally angry if someone grabbed my dog, though. Obviously, they can't grab Tychus.
Yeah, that's not gonna go down.
You have to be pretty fucking edge to pick up Tychus, but Remy's an easy one to pick up.
Yeah, if someone picked up Remy and started running off, I'd be.
Actually, it wouldn't even be irrational. I'd be rationally angry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's not. I don't think that's an irrational anger.
I think, as I read this morning, they might have even been charged or like arrested again. So I don't know if that's gonna stop anything. They also talked about wanting to do RL streams on Twitch next.
Oh Christ!
That was sort of like their next thing, but
it's one of those cases that they realize that it doesn't matter if people like you or not, as long as you do something to make people watch it. You're monetarily rewarded. I don't know what you do about it, because like the algorithms on YouTube, like Facebook, Twitter, it's all based on engagement, and stuff that makes you angry gets the most engagement.
True.
Yeah, but I think the thing with like that is, I'd imagine you'd probably get banned quite quick. If that content carries on and is still to that level extreme, I'd imagine like even Twitch or YouTube, they probably eventually ban them. Like, at least you like to hope so.
Yeah, I would like to hope so.
I mean, isn't it like that it being able to stay up? Doesn't that like it fosters sort of the what's the word? It fosters people potentially doing that thing. It's like a role model to an extent, and I feel like at that point maybe the platform has more of a responsibility to get rid of the content, right?
Maybe the internet was a mistake.
Maybe.
Definitely 100%.
Yeah, probably people were more happy when when there was no internet. Like, but
Remember when the song "Internet is for Porn" came out? Those are the
With
days.
the torrent.
Yeah.
Well, I say that. That was just a fan video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Made for a while.
Yeah.
oh
Those are
right,
days.
it's like a parody thing. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen that.
You've never heard the song "The Internet is for Porn"?
No.
Why do you think the net was born? Porn, porn, porn.
The only WoW one I remember is the mage one. That was
Mage one.
yeah, it's a parody of PIMP, and it's like why would you play a priest because mages are better or whatever.
Oh.
I see no one
Do
else.
they
can
talk
remember,
about like
so.
the vending machines and stuff?
Yeah,
Like dishing
yeah.
out. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I don't think there's much else to say about that, just because like it's
Pretty cut and dry.
it's just
innit?
pretty
Yeah.
much just it's bad to do. Like, don't do it. There's no like split opinions. I don't think many
I
people
think
would be
unfortunately
like,
we're all on the same page.
yeah,
It's pretty awful. Don't do it.
I think it's fortunate that we're on the same page because I mean
Not for the
nah,
views.
Stan. We need someone to disagree, right?
Yeah.
Stan, why do you think he's in the right?
I can't even.
Come on, you gotta play the part,
No,
Stan.
I can't fake that. That sounds horrible. Like what he's done. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm joking.
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I think,
Right. Well, so we'll move on to so there's a Spanish YouTuber called Dallas Review, quite a big YouTuber. I think it's like over 10 million subs. Recently broke up with their girlfriend, and then on their YouTube channel, I don't know whether it's a dedicated video or it was just in an existing video. They basically badmouthed the ex's dad, but accusing them of being like an abuser and like I think even as far as like a woman beater. And essentially that went to court. Now the Dallas person was saying it was like freedom of speech, that's how I feel or whatever. So I should be able to say it on the internet. But anyway, they've been charged, and the thing they have to do is upload a video once a week for like a month of them reading an apology to the father. I guess with the idea of trying to make sure all the audience knows that he was in the wrong and the father was okay or whatever. So I thought that was interesting because I've never seen that happen before. Normally it's like a fine or you go to prison.
Yeah.
But to have to say an apology, but not to the person, but actually you have to use your platform
Platform to apologize.
so people can see they apologize is quite bizarre, I
I
think.
think it's kind of interesting. Can you imagine like instead of, because the problem is that when you find people, it's basically just if you're rich, it's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the people with the biggest audience are rich people, right? So why not? It'd be interesting to see what would happen if, like, I don't know, somebody's like lying or like a politician's lying, and that politician has to put up a video every week apologizing to the person he defamed. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, like imagine. I'll be honest, I'm a bit out of the loop with the Andrew Tate stuff. He's obviously out now, so maybe I'd assuming he didn't get charged with anything.
They're still like,
Investigating, is it?
yeah, I think they have like a month or two left.
Okay, but imagine he got charged, right? And then he had to upload all these videos of basically saying everything he's done is just complete bullshit or whatever and apologizing. Like, that would be quite funny, I guess. And like, obviously, I imagine very detrimental to his brand. Although I can also imagine his fans would be like, oh, he's forced to say it, so it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it wouldn't work, but
Maybe like for defaming is probably better. I don't know, for committing crimes not so much, because people just be like, well, he's being forced. But with defaming, at least they still have to put out like the true info.
yeah. No, that is quite interesting. I don't know if
I have no idea if the YouTuber's in the wrong on this.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have the info of like, I guess we certainly don't know what the father has done. He does claim that, okay, so it says he owes him 13K and abuses defenseless women. But, I guess unless you're showing proof of that, it's hard to say. But I get it's more interesting about the fact that, like, I don't know, if I was to sit here now and, I don't know, say bad things about you, and then you're like, I'm going to the police, and then what? It's like, I have to make an apology or something. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I've never seen that happen before. Like,
But do we like it?
it's hard to know without the facts, isn't it? I guess if everything he said is not true, as in it's completely baseless, and
What'd
like
you
I
call
guess
it?
you're
Defamation of character.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So if it is that, and you know, at the end of the day, like 10 million subs is a lot of people. Like his videos must get a lot of views, and you are.
So I know you said he's Spanish YouTuber. Is he based in Spain?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Because like,
Sorry. The court is in Spain.
okay,
so
yeah,
it's-
because defamation here in the US is like a civil thing. So there's no jail time involved in defaming somebody.
Okay.
It's all monetary.
Ah, okay.
So I guess
So it's like if I don't know if you defame someone and then they're like, oh, because of that I lost out on all this. They work out like a monetary
they'll
value
work
of
out
that
how
you
much you've
kind of like.
lost. But like, kind of funny to see like, oh yeah, you know, also give out an apology as well
Yeah.
multiple times. Make sure everyone fucking sees it.
Would
Yeah.
we like, say for example, like Ninja did something like really bad on the internet, and do you want Ninja to make like 10 apologetic videos for like weeks? Like
It's more
we
a case
want
of
that?
defamation.
Yeah,
I
I
know,
guess.
I know, I
yeah,
know.
I guess if they do something themselves and it only really affects them, not so much. But if they've made out that someone is like a bad person and they're not, and there's like it's been shown that they're not a bad person, then like I guess it is a good thing.
The
So
problem
they
with
can-
the problem with defamation, right, is that if you lie about somebody and it's
Mm-hmm.
you're obviously being no, you're just lying basically.
Mm.
Even if you win the defamation suit, the damage is still bad regardless.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a good idea that people people with big audiences on their biggest platform have to put out the correct info multiple times over a period
Yeah.
to try and at least rectify some of the damage they've done.
Yeah.
I mean, because like we spoke about before, like Twitter, people posting misinformation, and then they have a tweet below it going, "Oh, this is this," and then you can see the engagement.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it makes sense to have multiple things so people. See
we're in the
more.
age of like the internet, right? Maybe the court systems do need to catch up with
Yeah.
where we are,
That's what I'm
or
thinking.
it could be complete and utter shit and not
True.
work at all. But interesting to see it.
Yeah.
I think maybe like bigger like Ninja and all that stuff would think twice about maybe saying something that isn't true if that is the punishment.
Why Ninja?
I don't know. I'm just picking someone big. He has money. He's not gonna feel bad about getting fined.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like actors and all that, you might think twice before you do something like that. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. So any other points about that? I think similar again.
Skip.
Stan, you gonna
I mean, you said his defense was freedom of speech, right?
yeah. That
What was his? It was like, I think it is. Therefore, I'm gonna say it.
I don't know that, but I guess either way, it's a case of like, I mean, yeah, just because there's freedom of speech doesn't mean you can. It doesn't mean you can say whatever, right, without consequences.
that's
I mean,
like-
that's the normal thing.
Like, that's what I got confused on, because a lot of people cite freedom of speech and like general things, and I'm like, that doesn't mean freedom of consequences, right? Or do I misunderstand freedom of speech? I don't know.
Pass.
As far as I'm aware, freedom of speech protects you from your government. It's government protected free speech.
Haha.
It's like you can say whatever you want about the government without them retaliating,
Oh,
but you literally can't do that to other American citizens. There are consequences.
Interesting.
I see.
yeah,
I see.
people will debate that all the
Government.
time, right? The
I
whole
think it's not that
freedom
they
of
debate it.
speech
It's
thing.
just I think freedom of speech is so like ingrained into American culture that the actual wording of the Fifth Amendment, not the Fifth Amendment,
Fourth.
whatever it is, I've completely forgot.
Same.
I don't think it even matters to them anymore. It's like freedom of speech this is what I believe, and nobody can touch me.
Isn't there an amendment where you can take up arms against the government?
Yeah, it's the Second Amendment.
Yeah, that's the idea of why most of them can keep guns. It was.
Muskets.
Don't
or-
quote me on this because I'm not totally up on American history, but the idea was citizens can have guns just in case the government goes mental and they need to overthrow the government.
Back in the time of
But
muskets.
back in the time of like muskets
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
But you
muskets.
ain't overthrowing the US government now because, I mean, they got
They got drones.
tanks, planes, nukes, all sorts, you know? So,
And we
know.
don't have muskets no more.
No. But yeah, that was the initial
We have
idea.
ARs.
So the other thing then was MrBeast seems to be like a topic. He's always in the news recently. But someone pranked MrBeast with a fake arrest. However, they worked with the New York Police Department. So for a long time, it seemed legit. And I think they interviewed MrBeast after, and he thought it was all real. So they, you know, arrested him, put him in the car, took him back for like processing, and made him wait in a cell for a bit. And then it wasn't until he used like, you know, they get like a phone, they allowed one phone call, right?
Yeah.
And then when that one phone call was, it was the YouTuber Eric, who was the one who did the prank, who answered the phone. And
Yeah.
at that point, they got told that it was a prank.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that video probably went quite viral, but that was quite an interesting prank. I think I think I'd be quite scared, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a little bit of a fucked up thing to do to somebody, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be a little bit stressed.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a little bit more than a little stressed. That'd be very
I reckon, right? I
Panic.
reckon he probably told MrBeast beforehand. And then like he played up to it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when the phone call comes, he's like, oh shit, I didn't know. But whatever, I haven't seen it, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but it's quite a harsh thing to do if they completely didn't know about it. And the other thing I'd be surprised with is, I know a lot of people in, like, if you did that in the UK, for example, a lot of people would say like, okay, that's a waste of police's time and like resources. So I'm surprised if it was all legit and it was like a proper police department that got involved. I'm surprised they did, unless it was like, I don't know, like advertising from or something.
Could they be in a fake establishment? You know those like hen parties where you can like get your stripper policeman. What if they have a whole base for that fake stuff and they have like a fake
I don't know if
film?
they'd have a
then you
fake
can just
police
hire them out.
station too.
I don't know. They could.
What I've noticed on Twitter, by the way, is there's an outrageous amount of people that actually believe he's been arrested for tax evasion. And they're eating it up.
Oh, they've just taken like the thumbnails of the videos
Like
or
there's
the
been
news.
people like purposely spreading misinformation online because they find it funny.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, MrBeast has been arrested for tax evasion.
Oh my god.
And there's people are like, I told you. I
The
told
people
you
who
it's
want
no
to
good.
hate for like no reason. They're
I
like,
told
oh,
you,
see, he is
I
evil.
told you he didn't want to cure blindness and deaf people. He's all in it for the money and he was evading taxes. Awful person.
Awful.
People are fucking stupid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that is quite bad. Like,
I personally think that's quite a harsh prank.
yeah,
Like
I'd
to-
be pretty gutted with it if like one of you guys did it to me.
Like to scare someone like that is, yeah, especially when, you know, in the US, every police officer carries a gun.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a
that-
fright to it.
That took some getting used to when I went there. Like, just
Yeah.
not used to it.
Well, seeing guns.
Yeah,
I saw a gun in the airport. And I went, ooh, a gun.
I don't know. I find it weird in the sense of like you stood there and someone's got a gun, and like in my head, I'm like, that thing exists to kill people.
Yeah.
And even if you use it to like, not to try and kill them, but just stop them, there's still a high chance that you're gonna kill them.
True.
So I don't know. I think it's weird, but we're just not used to it yet, are we?
Yeah, my own experience is like passing like officers at like an airport, you know, like airport security or whatever, and like that's it's still very frightening when you just go walk right past them. They got their guns there. It's like they're not little things either, man. No, they're big boy guns. Like, nah, man. Nah.
Didn't I point out another gun holder in London or something?
They were outside the embassy.
Oh, that's why they had guns. I see.
Yeah, you see them in London now and again, and in airports is probably the main place in the UK. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Guns are illegal in Iceland.
Anything else about MrBeast or misinformation
I
on
mean,
Twitter?
You said that on your notes that he was denied food or water. I've been to a program where with a lot of people through the Red Cross. It was like a simulation event where like you get to experience what it's like being an immigrant. And we were denied food and water at some point, and sometimes the only food that we got was burnt rice.
Oh God,
So it's not fun. It's definitely not fun.
no.
Should try that one time. It's fun.
But I'll pass
But
on
like
the burnt rice.
that
like.
event, I know I was getting into, right? But
Yeah,
the experience was fucking weird. Imagine being in that situation and I didn't know it was an event. I'd be fucking devastated.
I don't know. I think MrBeast probably was informed beforehand.
Yeah, probably.
Call them out, like.
Unless you watch the video and he's like, his hair's falling out.
That's a good title. Kaifa accuses MrBeast of lying.
I don't know. I just don't think you'd. I don't think you prank someone with like the actual NYPD without telling them beforehand.
Yeah.
Because not all,
People
all
swap
pranks are
people,
fake.
though.
So, you know.
I don't know. Is he known to like be mean with his pranks, that guy?
I don't know, I'll be honest.
Is he a friend to Mr. Beast?
I think they like know each other and they've done some stuff before. But yeah, I'm really not sure about the Iraq person.
If it was a friend of mine, I'd be a little bit more forgiving. If it was someone that I just barely knew and he did that to me, I'd be fucking fuming.
Yeah. You have a bit more sympathy if it's a friend and they're getting something out
Yeah,
of it.
100%.
I feel like you'd have to know, right? Because so, like part of his group would have to be informing Iraq of where MrBeast is to conduct the arrest and have cameras ready.
True.
I'm not sure. That's like I'm pretty sure they know each other. They might have even been like filming something together. I'm not entirely.
Yeah, could have been.
Or like on site
Sure.
with something else.
Yeah.
And then the arrest just happens or something.
I don't know. I'll watch it and then I'll make up my mind.
Yeah.
I just feel like on the surface, yeah, just arresting you, mate, with the real NYPD. Fucking, that's wild.
Scary, like. Okay, right. So moving on, maybe some quite like older news, although the fashion show was this week. So there was a fashion show held in the metaverse. Maybe we can show some pictures on screen about it, but it just looked dreadful. Like the avatars look like, I don't know, like early World of Warcraft.
It was like 10 FPS.
Yeah,
There was like 15 people in the crowd.
yeah. Basically the attendance was low. There wasn't much interest in it. It looked awful. It sounded like something like kids would have maybe done, like I said, on WoW, like back in 2010 or something. And that also ties in, although this was a couple of weeks ago, with Facebook or Meta or whatever. Basically, they're canning the metaverse. Like that's not their main focus anymore. I guess they've accepted that it's gone down like a lead balloon.
Until you can like literally just whap on a pair of glasses, no cables, the metaverse will never take off. It's just setting
What the
up
fuck is
setting
the
up your
metaverse?
headset to do something is a task.
And not
Takes a lot of work.
at least for me anyway, and a lot of people, the motion sickness is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like if you want people, because the idea behind old Zuckerberg's vision is people would wear these headsets for like an entire workday. So you could work with like 20 monitors and then you can go into like a conference call and you can see all your colleagues around the world in this like virtual work machine. And then, you know, if there's like, I don't know, say like engineering diagrams you need to look at, instead of looking at them flat, you know, they can physically be 3D in front of you and stuff. But if I wear my headset for half an hour to an hour, even with taking the pills, like I'm dreadful, like. So yeah, it's basically all gone downhill now, and they're doing Facebook AI or something.
Can I be that one commentator in the YouTube video going, what the fuck is a metaverse?
Honestly,
The fuck is that?
so that's been constantly asked, is what is the metaverse? Facebook are basically trying to, at least this is my understanding, they were trying to sell it as basically that. It's like a place where you can go online with your headset or whatever, and just like everything's there. Like
VR chat?
you want to go essentially, that's the thing. People are like, it already exists. Like VR chat has existed. I mean, even if you go back before VR, there's Second Life.
Okay.
And it really seems like they were basically trying to take what exists, but try and sell it as way more than what it is.
It's just not convenient. Like, you know, whenever you want to do VR, you have to like consciously make the effort to go set it up, plug it in. If you have like the boxes, set up the boxes, set up your play area in the game, your guardian area. Sometimes that's already preset. Like, but it's still the effort of getting it ready. Like if I want to go play Zelda, I just I press the button, I sit on my ass and play. But if I want to play like a VR game, I have to set it all up
Clean your room.
and make sure that your room is, clear of obstructions.
Yeah.
It's like it takes considerable effort to go, I want to play VR today. Like that setup period,
It sucks.
It's not something you can just do on a whim.
I think
and also the weather now, awful for it. It's like
I get sweaty, yeah. Sweaty
like,
headset,
I
like.
was asked the other day, you guys thinking about playing more VR? And I'm like, maybe at some point, but not for the next like 6 months.
And even if you take the uncomfortableness aside, running VR on your PC is screaming.
doesn't
Just like, please,
doesn't like it.
no more VR. You know? So
Yeah.
winter's the best time for VR, where like you can keep your graphics card and your CPU cool.
It's a bit cooler.
We should definitely play Gorilla Tag though again.
Yeah, I can break another controller.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
It was so much fun.
I broke a lamp when we played that.
I smashed the Rift controllers, the ring it has.
Circular ring, yeah.
I snapped the ring. I punched the stairs.
Mate, the weirdest thing for me about Gorilla Tag is we've played so many games. That's the one that I didn't get motion sick on.
Maybe it's just because it had so much control on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Return to Monkey. It was good.
It made so much sense. Like the physics just made so much sense.
I suppose you don't get. Obviously, your brain gets motion sickness because what you're doing doesn't match up with what your body's doing.
Yeah.
But if you're aware that your movement is purely by your arms,
Yeah.
and you feel that you are a two-armed, no-legged monkey, then perhaps your brain wouldn't.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably why Among Us VR just felt so like it felt awful. Even I felt the motion sickness. If I didn't have the motion sickness filter,
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Among
Yeah,
Us
it's-
VR was so slow to do anything. I was like, you couldn't vent really quickly. You had to be like, come on. There we go. I'm in the vent. And just killing, and then you turn around and there's somebody around the corner, just fucking 4 pixels, hello.
It was like Gorilla Tag, because like you said, moving with my hands I can do, right? Then if I go into the lobby of Phasmophobia, as soon as I turn the camera with a joystick, just 45 degrees, I'm instantly sick.
Have you tried walking on the spot?
No, I've tried that,
Oh, okay.
but the only way for me VR works is if I'm moving by physically moving in my room, which obviously you need a lot of space for.
That's true.
So-
They're said to help if you walk in the spot. It helps your body oh, I'm moving.
Oh,
Remember, was it EGX 10 years ago? They had Doom 3D.
yeah.
You put on glasses. Literally just made the game 3D on the screen. I remember literally taking the glass off and going, I'm going to puke.
Oh,
And I
ew.
wasn't, I don't really get motion sickness that bad in VR, but I just remember that game 3D on the screen making me feel sick.
That was EGX. They had the first ever proper VR game I played was Elite Dangerous, which is a fly-in game, and we all queued up for over 2 hours. But the way they had it set up was one was VR, the next computer was normal, VR normal, VR normal, and it was just luck whether you got VR.
Oof.
And we got up there, and they sat me down on VR, and my brother was on non-VR, and I was like, "Oh look, I'm gonna be sick and probably puke over your stuff anyway. Can we swap?" And they wouldn't let us swap.
What?
It's so bizarre. Literally, me and my brother are next to each other. And they're like, "Nah." They're like, "If you want to swap, you
Queue
just
again.
leave." Queue again. So anyway, I played the VR one, and it was really cool. But then I had to lie down for 2 hours after it. But
should have thrown up on it, like you said you would.
Yeah.
I told you I would.
Teach them a lesson,
Yeah, then they'd learn.
No, I've tried all the tricks, walk in, having a fan on you. You buy motion sickness bands that put pressure here. Ginger, eating ginger while playing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of these besides the
So only
walking on
the
spot.
motion sickness tablets will work, right?
Yeah, the motion sickness tablets work, but if I take them and play, it just knocks me out for hours after. We'll play, I'll lie down, I'll fall asleep, and then I'll wake up and feel like shit for.
You sure that isn't exercise?
Pardon? It could well be. Gorilla Tag, yes, that was tiring.
I think most of the VR games we played, after I'm done, I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a surprising amount of movement you do in VR.
Yeah.
True.
Compared to the old mouse and keyboard, it does take it out of you,
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking love
so
Gorilla Tag, though.
yeah. Anything else about Facebook, VR, Metaverse, or anything?
No.
Probably
Fuck
not.
Facebook.
Yeah, honestly, fuck
Fuck that
Facebook.
slimy.
Okay.
Alien.
So one thing that's been quite interesting in SR, I guess, is recently Kaif has done a 2-week test. You coming to the end of a 2-week test of streaming on YouTube. So I guess how has that been going? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed it more. I don't know, my reasoning for why I like it and why I think it's better is objectively not good reasoning. Like most people go, oh, yeah, it's all about numbers, you know?
Yep.
They go, are you getting more viewers? No. Are you getting more money? No. And then they'd be like, oh, why the fuck do you want to switch? But, you know, when I do Twitch streams, it's always the same viewers. You don't, and you could see like the go live message and maybe read it, but most times people just see I'm live and just click it, right? And they just go to it. So they get in there, they see a game they don't like and they leave. And for me, it's like, oh, I feel like I kind of did something wrong. Like maybe wasn't just doing good enough today. But with YouTube, they can see exactly what I'm doing. They see the thumbnail, they see the game, everything. And then before they even click, they go, nah. And for me, I'm like, that's better.
So you like the thought that if someone clicks on your stream, because they've got a lot more info about it, they're more likely to like interact and hang around and stay.
Yeah,
and maybe not make comments about like, oh, shit game or whatever.
Yeah, they can make an informed decision before they've even joined the stream. And I like, what I like the most is that we can set up a thumbnail beforehand. So weird things can take off. I know High on Life took off. Code names of all things took off. Like I remember I was like, I'll do code names on YouTube because it's a static image, right? It's just nothing changes barely except the cards. And I was like, there's not a lot going on. I don't think people will stick around for it on Twitch. And it just flew off on YouTube. And I was like, well, that was surprising. And yeah, it's just been fun just doing things I want to do, seeing like the data of like what games people are clicking, what people are not. And I think the best part as well is that I always feel bad with Twitch that it's $5 a sub, right? And then it's also regional pricing, can cost people even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money to sub to me. On YouTube, it's 99 pence.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love that.
Don't you set the price for subbing to you on YouTube?
Yeah. The lowest you can have is 99 pence. Then it's $2.99. Then it's $4.99, and I don't know what it is after that.
How much does YouTube take off that revenue?
Don't know.
Okay. It's probably not as bad as Twitch anyway.
I think it's the same as Twitch.
They
I
take
think
50%.
No,
No.
it's 30. They
Yeah.
take 30.
They take 30 of the memberships, is it?
Yes, but it's a little weird because in the UK, you have to pay like VAT on it. So your take home is like the same as Twitch.
Oh, right. So the memberships is based in Google Island, right?
When we get AdSense, it is, but with the memberships, they basically say they take a local sales tax.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I've looked at it before and you work it out, it basically works out as 50%. And VAT is like 20, so it roughly works out that way, essentially.
Because I know the super chats are definitely regional pricing on there.
Yeah, because you see currencies you've never seen before.
Yeah, one of the fun things is like, hey, thanks for the 5.
What the
What
fuck
is that?
that?
I think I did one YouTube stream before, and someone like, I can't remember what the currency was, but it's like 1,500.
Yeah.
And I was with some of the boys, and you can see like everyone's like, oh, what's this? I guess excited. And
It's really nice
and
that it's
then
color coded.
Yeah, and then it takes like, you see it in the YouTube studio like maybe a couple of minutes after, so then you can roughly work out what it is. But yeah, you see some currencies and you're like, I have no idea how much someone's giving me. Like,
I'm getting used to it. Like Swedish krona, Norwegian krona, Indian rupees, like Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Like as the time goes on, and I'm always like, chat, what's that?
yeah,
And they tell me, and then I start to remember what all these like currencies are. It's good. It's like being in school.
you're learning while streaming, like.
but not being in school. But I don't know. It's just what I like as well is that YouTube ads are just not as bad as Twitch ads. Because I met my
True.
Twitch rep, and he's like, oh, if you want better growth, you need to do these ads, these mid rolls, to get rid of the pre rolls.
Growth.
Yeah.
Oh, to get rid of pre-rolls, right?
Yeah, and the pre rolls on Twitch are really bad. Like they're always going to be 30 seconds or longer, depending if you have ad block or not, if you have Twitch Turbo, or if you're subbed. But the thing is when you get a new viewer, which is the people you want to find your stream, they are going to get an ad, and most likely they get an ad, they leave. Like there's nobody has time to go, am I gonna like this streamer, get an ad and go in, am I gonna wait it out for the streamer? No, I fucking ain't.
No.
I'm out of here. And then you click another streamer and hope you don't get an ad.
And they're just gonna go for the bigger streamers. They're like,
But like I thought the mid roll wasn't gonna be too bad, because I thought oh, it's once an hour that you do it, and I have control over it. So maybe if like I only wanted to do it during when things aren't quite as hectic,
Downtime.
like between rounds. So it's like I run it when I want. Turns out you can't. Twitch will run it when they want, and
They'll give you a warning.
they do tell you an ad's coming up. But what I find like so like cheeky as fuck is that it's the ad incentive is an opt-in program. They're like, hey, run these ads to get rid of pre-rolls. There should be an option to be like, I don't want to run this ad. I'll run it when I want, but it's not. It gives you 3 options to snooze it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
After that, they're like, we're running the fucking ad. And I find that just so... I just find that so like fucking cheeky, you know?
So if you're playing and you're like, okay, good moment, skip. But then eventually, even if it's still a good moment, it just goes, nah, sorry,
Twitch
bro.
go, nah, we're running this ad. And it's like, no, how's about you don't run the ads? Let me click X. I'll run it when I'm ready and just turn on pre-rolls for a time. But no, it's not the case. So YouTube ads are at least better. At least you get the 5-second unskippables. You might get a 30 unskippable.
Yeah.
But in general, ads on YouTube are just way, way better. Obviously, you get the weird ones as well, like the really strange ads.
Tend to be mobile game ads.
Yeah.
Like outrageous. Like,
But in general, the ads are better, and I don't have to run any ads at all on YouTube, which is nice.
I've started to hate some of the companies as well that run ads on Twitch because it's always the same fucking. It's always audible.
And the problem is with Twitch ads, you don't really get ads tailored to you either.
No, so they don't. That's one of their biggest problems at the moment is they don't have a system.
It's like a site-wide ad system, not a tailored personal ad system.
So you'll get the same audible ad, like
Audible ad.
15, 20
It's
times
the
in a row.
same fucking ad every fucking time, and it's so long.
Does your Sweden? I think that's the only main problem with Twitch is how long they are. Like
They're so long.
you know, you can get like 3 or 4 60-second unskippable ads.
Yeah.
And the main thing with Twitch as well is that to grow on Twitch, mainly you bring people externally. You get them from YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, maybe, to go to Twitch. And then say like you grow on Twitch, it's quite hard to get them to go off site to go to YouTube to watch your videos. So at least the benefit is that if I am on YouTube and I'm growing, at least they're likely to get recommended my videos as well.
True.
So it is quite a bad thing to be all in one basket because YouTube could be like, oh yeah, we're banning you. Nintendo gave you 3 strikes, so bye all your accounts.
Rip.
Remember that Mario Party video you made 2 years ago? Yeah, triple strike. Channel gone.
Well, yeah, we've done crowd control on that now, so they could
You're
they could
breaking
definitely
rules
like
now.
3-man strikers if they wanted,
Wow.
because that is technically modding it.
Yeah.
You're breaking rules, guys. You're criminals.
In,
Just as bad as that guy that-
Nintendo's eyes, we are, yeah.
You're just as bad as that guy that arrested MrBeast.
One interesting thing I saw about Nintendo, right? So they dropped support for the Nintendo 3DS, right? Old handheld console, like we're not updating it anymore.
Oh shit, this is quite recent, isn't it?
Yeah, so because they dropped the support, basically modders have like continued support. Obviously, some of the mods will be like bad, but some of them are genuinely good. They're just trying to keep it updated. So Nintendo now have gone back and finally updated it to basically stop all the mod stuff from working.
Yeah, they've also they've provided a cease and desist against Valve.
Dolphin.
Yes.
It was a Dolphin thing. It was an emulator for
Yeah, so
for
now the
Wii.
emulator's gone as well off Steam.
Yeah.
Man, it's scummy, isn't it?
They are, yeah.
Really
they,
scummy.
they get away with it because they make good games that no one else makes.
It's like you buy the games, especially like if you get them digital as well, and then they stop support, and you're like, "Can I play them?" They're like, "No."
They're absolutely terrible with video game preservation. I mean, one of the bad ones was, do you remember the Mario Anniversary collection thing that came with like Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
That was available for about a year, and then they stopped selling it. It's like, why?
What I don't understand with Nintendo is that it's so hard to get these old games, right? So people have to emulate them, and then they like cease and desist you or whatever they do, right? Why not make them available on the Switch and make some fucking money?
I mean, from what I understand, recently, because of the new the extra sub for the Nintendo Switch Online, they have been adding things slowly from their old catalog. So I mean, they're doing it. They're charging you a bit, but there's so many that's just left by the wayside.
Well, until they're on there, at least don't fucking sue people for having the ones you don't provide anymore, you know?
Because they're not losing money out of it, because they're not providing it themselves.
Exactly. Man, Nintendo are fucking... They're so out of touch, aren't they?
Guys, you're smarter than Nintendo people.
I do sometimes feel like Nintendo are really dumb.
But they've always been very, very behind on like the internet stuff, right? Like way behind. They're almost like a generation or two behind on what everyone else is doing. So
Like, they refuse to PC port
Boomers.
anything. It's like, bro, you've made all your money with the initial release. It's your exclusive. So if you port it like 3 years later, you're not suddenly the other market isn't suddenly like encroaching on you. It's just extra money.
yeah.
Until I don't know, provide stuff digitally on the Switch is extra money. Like, what are you doing? And it was that stupid partner program they had for YouTubers?
Oh yeah. So a long time ago, you couldn't just play a Nintendo game and make a YouTube video. They would take it down, but you had to be like a partner with them.
Yeah.
So they would approve just like family friendly people, basically.
That sounds dumb.
And I don't know, it's just been well known that YouTubers drive traffic towards games. Or maybe they're just like, nah, we're bigger than that. I mean, they are fucking massive. But
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not just Nintendo that's sort of behind it, isn't it? Also like music companies too, to an extent, are behind it. I know you can just use the music and stuff like that, but I don't know how many times I've heard like a track from somewhere and I've gone, oh, look that up. You know, it's not often because I don't really listen to music, but I feel like, especially if it's like in someone's stream, they got music in the background, like that might be something in music you might find you might like that, but music companies will be like, bam. And
yeah,
it's like it can drive people towards finding their music and getting it too. I don't know.
again,
It's similar-ish.
I guess it's like Nintendo and music companies are so big that they drive their own traffic. Really, I don't know, but Sony and Microsoft aren't doing the same things as Nintendo is. So, fucking Nintendo, man.
I mean, Sony are still reluctant with some of their exclusives to bring them to PC.
Yeah, but at least they do.
They do a lot.
Except-
They do bring a lot of them to PC though, don't they?
Man, I'm still waiting on Bloodborne.
You know what's gonna age super well?
What's that?
Bloodborne's not on PC. It may never be on PC.
Please. I love that game so much. You know what? Shadow of the Colossus on PC would be great too. That's a good one.
Yeah, I suppose like I know Sony keeps their exclusives and stuff, but they don't. Meh. At least some of them come to PC and shit.
They did do Spider-Man and God of War, right? Those are some of the big ones, and Horizon Zero Dawn. Those are the big ones, I think.
Sticking with Nintendo quickly.
Go on.
Lighter news. I guess for you two, you've been playing the new Zelda game, right?
Yeah.
You got anything to really say about that? I guess.
Well, like
You
no
seem to
spoilers.
enjoy it from what I've seen.
No spoilers.
I don't care if you spoil it. I ain't
It
playing
makes Breath of the Wild
but
like a Steam early access.
it's that much better, is it?
It just took Breath of the Wild and they were like, huh, that was a joke. That was a joke. Now is the real game.
I mean, even me as someone who hasn't played Breath of the Wild, and I don't intend to play Zelda ever, right?
Yeah.
It made the look between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right? That's
Yeah.
what it's
Yeah.
called, right? It looks better. I don't know, like personally, if I look at Breath of the Wild, the colors look dull to me, and just doesn't look great.
Yeah.
There's like a filter on top, and I don't like it. But then you look at Tears of the Kingdom, everything's so bright and vibrant, and the crafting system makes for pretty good memes and funny videos.
It's the building system is so insane. There's so many devs talking about how incredible like the physics are in Tears of the Kingdom. Not that they're accurate, but like there's stuff you could do. Like you can attach a chain to a wheel, and then have the wheel spin, and it pulls a chain to open a gate, which is just most games don't do this shit. There's one I saw where like they had a little vehicle pull an extended bridge across a gap. There's a lot of comments of people going, "Oh, that's how you're supposed to do it." But like these little physics things, while to us they seem obvious, but from like a dev standpoint, Like it's actually insane how wild this game is.
Yeah, like it just seems insane. It seems insane. Like I when I got like the thing to fuse like weapons together and stuff like that, the amount of combinations, they all have different names and stuff like that, and I'm like, I know that's not as like vast as figuring out how to do physics and stuff like that, but just like having all of that cataloged, I'm like that would have taken a lot of time.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, every single item you pick up in the game that can go in your inventory, I'm pretty sure you can fuse to your weapon.
As long as like a fuse number on it, even if it's a
Yeah,
one,
as long as it has like an attack power value on it. And it's weird that some things do have attack power values on it. You can just stick it to your weapon or stick it to your bow.
And it's wild how many of those things actually have effects when you use them. It's like some of the crystals have like magical effects, or you can even slap a bomb on your shield if you want to. If you don't know what that does, I recommend doing it. But it is insane. I've not gone too far into the building stuff because I'm not very smart, but like it is insane.
Sorry.
No, and it's just,
You can still build, Stan.
it's just I'm not very good at
Still
it.
enjoy
It's
the
like
game.
My first
still do it.
my first hour in the game, or maybe 2 hours, I built a cock, and I killed everything with a cock. Literally every enemy. So I got a tree and 2 rocks, and then whenever there was enemies, I would drop the cock on them, and it would kill them.
I think it's cool because the Zelda games have never been known for building. Like Breath of the Wild had no building stuff in it, right?
Yeah,
And it's quite interesting that like they've just added that whole thing to the game. And like everyone seems to be singing his praises.
like what's wild is the sheer amount of stuff in the game as well. So in terms of like building, you get like these Zonai devices, and I remember like I was about like 6 hours in and I had 8 Zonai devices, and I was like, man, I think I almost got all of them. Nah, there must be like 30 of them at least, something like that, and they all do like wildly different things. I just walked into Daz's room right now because now I'm like 18 hours in, and I'm like, yeah, now I got him. I walked into Daz's room and he's got shit I don't have. So there's so much, and like every area you go to, you discover like a new like kind of equipment. So there's equipment you can have in your inventory, and there are sort of like equipment in the area you can play around with. It's just wild.
It's like you're like what, like 18 hours and I'm like 12 hours in, and you came into my room and you're like, wait, you haven't played anything.
It's like Stan hasn't played the game.
What have you been doing? Because you told us you didn't build.
I went and explored. I immediately
He hasn't explored.
I have explored. I've explored that much. I got lost very quickly, but like I think
He's got 5 fucking hearts. You start with 3.
I have. Okay, so turns out I had enough to have another heart to make. I just hadn't gone back to a shrine.
Okay.
But it's like I was really enjoying it, just getting lost. And like one of the other big things, which isn't just like a system thing, the enemy variety is so much more. Like there's so much more variety than the last game. The last game had like, I don't know, like 5 enemies and then variations on that. This one I've seen, I think at least like 15 by now. I think I might be counting it a bit wrong. And some of them surprised me like hell. Like there's one specific one. I'm just walking along doing my business, and it starts walking towards me, and I got frightened. It's like I also
Jump scared by Zelda.
I don't want to say what it is because I think it's funny to experience.
Fair.
But I was also one like I was walking through a thunderstorm. I look like I'm going towards one of the towers to like get the map, and then I look to my left, see thunder striking, and I see this massive skeletal dude just walking in a forest. I'm like, oh, I'm not going over there.
Yeah, so a lot of people when the game come out, and a lot of the arguments that people are having, because you know everyone's going wild like this game is amazing, and then you obviously have the people going, it's the same fucking game, right?
So dumb.
So it takes the same world from the last one, but it is
Makes it
changed so fucking much that at times I was like, because I did Breath of the Wild maybe like a couple months before Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I'm walking around like, shit, I don't recognize this at all. So they've changed a lot of the overworld. Not only that, they've added the depths,
which is underground,
the exact same size as the main map, but
double
completely dark.
See, Nintendo aren't that bad, are they?
No, they are scummy. But
This is how they get away with it. They make good games.
not only the depths, but they've added the sky as well. which is like loads and loads of islands in the sky. It's not as big as the depths, but what you do in the sky is a lot more intricate and fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, I found a thing in the sky that gave me another mini game thing. I won't go into what that was, but that was fun.
I think
That
I know
was
the one
cool.
you're on about. But
I like that.
like the difference this time around is like in Breath of the Wild, one of the big things was the shrines, because that's how you get your hearts and your stamina. And while the puzzles were fun, it's kind of limited. You know, it's either like jump, get this button pressed, or like use your time stop to like add. What was it? Used to stop time, smack the fuck out of it.
Stasis.
Stasis.
Yeah.
You smack the fuck out of it and send it off. You can make ice out of water, couldn't you?
Yeah, you make little ice bridges and you had bombs.
Yeah, it was stuff like that. It was kind of limited. And now that they got this building thing, the shrines are fucking awesome. Every time you go into a shrine, I'm like, what's it gonna be this time? Wee. I've seen so many like Twitter videos of people doing the hammer puzzle.
When we smack it into a thing.
Basically, it's a
Goal.
pinball puzzle, and people are like, I don't understand it.
I struggled with that. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled with that a bit. And then I figured it. I kept trying to hit it from behind,
Right.
and that just gave it so much like the wrong. No, I tried to stop the ball and then hit it,
See, I took
which
20.
obviously didn't work.
I took 20 minutes to figure out how to make the thing work,
Hmm.
because I don't know. It wasn't quite clear to me that you had to smack a rock to turn it on.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
You know, I was like, I just thought it was part of the interior design.
I thought it was. I thought it was a little light.
yeah.
I thought it was a little light, and then my chat was like, hit the thing. I'm like, what thing? This thing? I hit it, and then it swings. Like, oh,
Yeah, it wasn't. That's not quite as clear because I don't know how fucking ancient Zonai technology works.
there might be a shrine that
But
tells you about it. I
the
don't know.
the amount of ways people solve shrines, like that one is do pinball, and then other people are like, I put a bomb on my bow, and that
Hit
was the
the
puzzle
mark.
for them.
I did one that was like it was to guide a ball on a wall, and you had like little wedges that you could put in to guide it. I stopped the ball with stasis thing, the time thing,
Yeah,
and then picked it up. I put it on the rail. I jumped over to where the hole was, and then I picked it up to move it because I was like, there's so many moving parts here. I'm confused. I'm just gonna put the ball in the hole.
yeah. You get an ability where you can turn back time, and it breaks a lot of shrines. Essentially, like you'll have like gaps you go across, and I go, I'm gonna move this wood across the gap with my levitation. Then I'm gonna move it back across the gap. Then I'm gonna rewind time, and I'm gonna ride it across the gap. And that's a lot of way. That's one of the ways you can like fuck puzzles entirely.
That's another thing I did. I had to I think I had to stack boxes, but I just lifted the box up. I let it drop, rewinded time, got on
You
it.
just ride it up, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there are rocks that fall from the sky. Have you ever rewind time on those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that one out like 10 minutes before I ended stream yesterday. I was like, oh, this is cool.
I guess stand in and watch the gameplay trailer. The gameplay trailer is literally like you can go into the sky on rocks.
I didn't watch the game. I watched, I think, the reveal trailer, and then I got sent gameplay trailers, and I was like, I'll watch that later. I never watched them.
Fair enough.
The game.
So like,
Yeah.
I went in very blind.
The game's sick. I can imagine at the Game Awards, it's probably just gonna take all the awards home.
Is there anything else coming out this year? Which
Spider-Man 2.
Is Spider to this year?
Oh, it might not be actually. I don't know. Maybe it's next year.
All I know is I saw the trailer for it.
yeah,
and
I saw the
thought,
trailer.
oh,
I was like, maybe that's soon.
that could possibly, if it's this year, but
I don't know. I don't think anything's taken from Zelda.
I think
I know a lot of people are like, it's not that impressive. They'll still probably win.
I mean, I think it's very impressive. At least, like, especially when you compare it to its
yeah, you don't
previous
get an
game.
opinion. You played it for 12 hours and you haven't left the starting area. So
I think.
what do you know, bro?
I feel like Zelda's gonna take it because it's one of the only games that released this year that didn't put out an apology over the next few days.
That's true. Yeah,
We see how many fucking apologies have been this year.
yeah.
What was it? We got Forspoken. We got that Golem game. I
Star
can't wait to
Wars.
play that. I'm so
Did
excited. for
Redfall
Golem.
do an apology?
Redfall.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the other? What was that one you just mentioned?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Wait, Star Wars hadn't done an apology?
I think people add the Cyberpunk one to it as well.
Yes, that was but
That's even
Cyberpunk.
more
I think
older,
Star
like-
Wars was because of the optimization.
Yeah. So
Oh.
It wouldn't run on
even
loads of
there.
PCs.
Like I'm on my fucking super duper PC. I walked into obviously Star Wars has its main world that you keep going back to, and the moment you get to the main area and you look over the edge and you just go, like,
it's supposed to be a really cool moment, but like when you start panning the camera and it going, you're like, nah.
Moment ruined.
so they apologize over that. Redfall apologized for their optimization, right?
It was
Pretty shit
Yeah.
game.
They
I was
should-
gonna say they
should
should
have apologized for the
making a garbage.
They
game.
should have apologized for the gameplay. The Gollum game is the funniest apology. They're like, we're really sorry that the experience is underwhelming.
I'm confused. I thought the
Underwhelming.
Gollum game wasn't out yet.
Yeah, so
It's out.
and it's really bad.
Are you still gonna?
I'm gonna play it because it's really bad.
Oh, okay,
I like my trash.
fair enough.
Have
He
you
likes
seen
his
any?
trash.
So there's in the Gollum game, right? You can only strangle people that don't have helmets, right? And it makes sense when you first see some of the helmets. They're like the full
What kind of
helmets,
Gollum ass
but there's
game?
some guys wearing, plate hats.
and you still can't strangle.
Can't strangle them, and for some reason you can't strangle elves. Not wearing helmets.
Steel necks,
Yeah.
unstrangleable. Obviously.
It's such a weird concept. I feel like it's set between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
Didn't he just do fuck all that entire time?
Yeah.
I don't like games. I know a lot of people like
You don't
it.
like games?
I fuck games. I don't like a lot of games that are set as prequels because you kind of know what happens. So I never gave a shit about Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. You know, when
What?
it was like the big reveal. Spoiler, by the way, but Anakin is Darth Vader, right?
I've
and you-
never seen Star Wars.
And then you're in episode 3 and you're like,
For real?
It's
I
ruined.
know.
Everything's ruined.
You know how episode 3 is gonna end. He's gonna kill everyone and turn to the dark side.
But
Whoa.
we did get Jar Jar Binks, so
Yeah, we did we got Darth Jar Jar, so
That was a positive. So
the best character.
we take that.
me's a Jar Jar Binks.
Right, moving on to some like more silly news. So I think this is based in Australia. There's a vegan family who have wrote a letter to their neighbors, basically telling them to stop cooking barbecue in their garden, right? Because basically what they're saying is the smoke, the smell of meat makes them sick. Like the whole family is sick because of it. And the family who obviously cooking the barbecue took photos of all the letters and put them online. And obviously there's a debate about who is right. I think in general, it seems more people side with the people cooking the barbecue.
Because
But-
there's more people who like meat.
True, but I was just reading the letter, right? And it says that they're asking them to shut their side window when they're cooking. So that makes me think they're not in the garden, they're actually cooking in the house, right?
Okay.
So then the other thing is like, I don't know, surely the vegan family could also close their windows
True.
while it's cooked. I mean, if
Yeah. Look, if a neighbor was going out there every day and cooking barbecue on their patio, I'd at some point be like, I am fucking sick of smelling you making barbecue. Try a different fucking meal, you knobhead, right? Because when I used to like make donuts in a stall, it put me off donuts for years. I got so sick of that fucking
is that what I need?
Donut smell.
yeah. You got to eat so much so you don't like it anymore. But I got so sick of that fucking like sweet pastry sort of like smell that like the batter mix before you put it in. So I could see like if they were doing barbecue on their patio every day, you'd be like, I'm fucking sick of you. Like, I don't know, get some variation before you kill yourself.
But it does sound like they're doing it in their kitchen,
Yeah, that's
which I like.
if they're doing it in their kitchen, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like it's weird to ask someone to stop doing anything in their kitchen, especially when if they're in their kitchen, so the smoke's coming out of the window, right? Like, just close your window.
Yeah, I mean the
For a
letter
bit,
the
surely.
letter contradicts any point they have.
Yeah, but
If
I mean,
if they can solve the neighbors cooking by closing their window,
yeah,
then it solves their smelling of it by closing their fucking window.
Let's just say for instance, if they're like they already have their window closed, but they can still smell it. What then?
I still think it's hard to, like try and stop someone from cooking next
Yeah.
door. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different to like if a new family moves in and I don't know the food they like to cook to me is really smelly. It's like I think you just have to suck it up. Like, You can't just be like, nah, stop cooking it. Like,
It's like a short time out of your day as well.
yeah,
It's like an hour, maybe.
I'd kick up a fuss if there was some sort of like maybe possible risk to my health. Like, say for example, like somebody was like making a fire in their garden and the smoke was
Yeah, I mean, that's
traveling over to
different.
my place.
Yeah, but like
and-
they're cooking in their. It sounds like they're cooking in their kitchen
yeah,
because they're asking them to close their window, and it's like, what do you want from them? Like, stop eating meat and be vegan so that the smell doesn't affect you.
I don't know.
Like, they gotta eat.
I think, but this is a news, is it?
this is I think it become news because they put the letters online. So then obviously it just, you get
think
lots
it's
of people in
definitely-
the comments.
People definitely
comments
react to it
arguing.
because they don't like vegans because vegans push that they are vegans down your throat.
I mean,
I
yeah,
gotta be
you'll
honest
get
though,
some
I feel
people
like
reacting like that, but
It like the vegans have basically just put a letter through the door. That's it.
Yeah.
The reality is, what's happening here is that if this has become a news story off letters, right?
yeah, so they've, like I said, they've taken pictures of the letters and put it online, right?
And
so
that's
they've-
what's caused this
so
to
then
kick
it's
off.
obviously blown it out of proportion.
So basically,
imaginatively.
this vegan household just put a letter through the door and just said, please, can you
Yeah,
close your
please
window
close
when
your
you
window.
cook?
Yeah,
And that's it. That's all they asked,
yeah,
right?
that is, in reality,
and it's,
that is all
and
they've
it's
done
blown up, and people are
according
like,
to this.
these fucking vegans and their
Goddamn
fucking demands.
vegans.
Yeah,
And it's like, I still think they don't have to close their window. Like,
Yeah.
but it's blown up because I think people just hate vegans.
yeah. I
mainly.
mean, they're in their right
Yeah.
to ask, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
there is
100%.
one
And then
situation
the
where
neighbor
they
puts
ask
a letter
them-
through the door and goes, sincerely, no.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we pretty much all agree on that.
I just find it
But
weird
do you have
that,
any? Go on.
like, barbecuing, right? To me, so this story is about, like, you've got the title there, furious letter over cooking barbecue in the garden, but then they ask him to close the window.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, so that there is a paste of the title of the article, and then underneath is what the letter says. So they contradict each other. Like obviously the title makes out it's in the garden, but then the letter from the family is asking them to shut their window while they cook. So it's obviously in the kitchen. Like,
Yeah, if it's in the garden, I would literally be like, the people doing barbecue could at least chill the fuck out on barbecuing. You know what I mean? Like, I
Chill
can't
out.
imagine having barbecue every day is pretty good for your health. That being said, people smash a lot of chocolate and stuff. So what you do with your body is what you do. But like, I don't know, the amount of smoke that comes from barbecue, I'd get sick of it as well if they're barbecuing every day.
Yeah.
yeah,
But that letter does contradict the title of the
it
story.
does, yeah,
Shit article, Glenn.
Is it from the Mirror or something?
it's from Birmingham Mail.
What the fuck is that?
Nobody gives a fuck about Brum.
They probably
Brum?
they
what
so
you
it's
call
based
it?
in Australia though, so they would have taken it from somewhere else. Like, so did you have anything to mention about that?
all I've got is is it multiple letters?
There was two. So the first letter is basically them asking. Supposedly the neighbor just cracked on and was like, nah, and then they sent one more, which I think again was just similar thing, just
Yeah,
like please, yeah, basically.
I mean, like for me, it's a case of if they're asking nicely, at the same time, if they're asking to close the window and it's not actually outside, then I mean that's a bit silly. But if they're asking nicely, I don't. There's not much you can't get too upset about that. I feel I don't know.
Nah.
It's like if they were flying into it about the smell and how it was affecting them, then I would be. I don't know. I'm a bit. I think asking for the window to be closed is a bit much, so they can close their own windows. But if they're asking nicely, then I don't really see the harm.
Is it, for example, right, Kev?
Mm-hmm.
Stan is. He's complaining.
Yeah, but fucking that guy complains about our dogs barking in our house with the windows closed while we're not there. Like, what do you want us to do? Clip their vocal cords?
Debark him. No, and he also has his window open, he says.
Yeah.
Because he sent me a vindictive message back. He's like, well, maybe this summer I'll be able to have my window open.
Oh, that's childish. The guy was like, oh yeah, your dogs bark in your house? And I'm like, yeah. And he's
I
like,
think it was in the garden as well.
yeah, but no, he's complaining about them in the house. In the garden, sure. In the house, go fuck yourself. When he was complaining, like, because he goes to bed super early, and we sometimes get home at like 11 or 12. He's like, your dogs are keeping me awake. And I'm like, okay, bro, there's like maybe like 40 meters between our houses across the street.
Mm-hmm.
The cars will keep you awake. Close your window.
There's also a lot of construction happening.
Yeah.
Like loud noises everywhere. The man, it's not a boy.
He's a man-child.
A man-child is not gonna
And
get any kind of sleep.
He only complains at Ebbs.
He doesn't have your number. You're not on Facebook either.
I leave my house every day. He sees me.
Yeah, he never like.
He's
he
got
is
your
never-
CCTV,
and it's
mate.
like-
He has never approached me. He runs straight to Ebbs.
He didn't know. He knocked on the door and I'm the one who answered it.
You can
Because
go
it was
fuck him.
so late.
That one time.
You were scared to open the door because it was so late.
He's a knob. Old man looking to have a power trip.
Yeah, pretty much. He is a bit of a prick.
I thought you said it's settled now, though, isn't it?
He hasn't piped up again. I mean,
that's good then.
the last time he sent me a message, I pretty much ignored him because I thought it was a little bit ridiculous. Like, both me and Kaif are out and the dogs are barking. Like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to phone my dogs? Tell him, can you please be quiet? Is angry.
The thing is, right, we've actually stepped outside the house and heard the dogs barking.
And it's not that loud.
And it's really not that loud. So for him to be kept up by the dogs means that he would get kept up by passing cars. Because this isn't our adjacent neighbor. This is the neighbor across the road. And the ones across the road must have more money than us because they have like super long drives and stuff.
Yeah.
So the distance between our houses is fucking enormous. And there's a road in the middle. Which means that if you can hear our dogs barking, you can hear the car.
Yeah.
I'm
louder.
surprised he's not kept awake by his wife snoring. Like,
That guy must have to sleep in like pure silence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably just someone who wants to complain.
He
Find
probably
something to
has
complain
like
about.
it's like one of those things like the cars are louder, but he's so hyper focused on the dogs that it just makes him irrationally angry. It's like how me and I can hear chewing. You could do something louder, but if I hear chewing, I'm gonna rage.
That's fair.
I can sort of connect with that because if there's a repeating sound and it's the same sound and you're waiting for the sound to come back. I'm like snoring for me, I hate. It takes me a while to get like used to snoring. But say for example you're trying to go to bed and there's like a water dripping somewhere, it's not gonna stop and it's like comes back and you know it's gonna come back. You just wait. Then it hits you and then you're like, oh, and you're waiting again and it hits you again. And you're like,
That's
I
a
can't
him
do it.
problem.
True.
Yeah.
But we gotta be careful here though. What if he sues us and we gotta make some apologies on the podcast?
He would have to literally, he would have to get a device to get the decibels of our dogs barking,
True.
and then immediately be embarrassed by it not going over the legal limit.
Also, it'd have to be a certain times of the day as well,
What's
which I can't remember if it's.
Is it past 11 p.m.?
I can't remember.
It's like 11 to 11, right?
Something like
But
that.
even
yeah.
then, there's like a set decibels that has to go over to count as a noise.
Yeah.
And-
And it has to be like very consistently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
like-
has to be loud, like people partying levels of loud. You know,
Yeah.
he'd never get it.
I don't think it's
Nah.
going to happen. Well, one of the other ones I had then. So I think this is in America. There's basically a couple who were going around, open up ice cream in. Sorry, I lost track of what they were called. What did you?
Huh?
Sorry, I was going to say the American word for supermarket, like, or
Walmart. I don't know.
it doesn't matter. Anyway, basically like Walmart's, ignore my brain fart, like licking ice cream and putting the lids back on and putting them in the back in the fridges, which I imagine there's nobody who would say that is okay.
That's disgusting.
But apparently people have been like, I don't know, like snitching the TikToks and then saying like they should go to prison or, you know, they should have consequences essentially.
I'm so sure that they had or should like, because this is not new, but this is surfacing again.
Yeah, so I think it's just surfacing again because more people have caught on and more people are like, oh, go to prison or whatever.
Right. Should definitely get consequences if they didn't
You
get
would
it the
you would
first
definitely break in some laws there. Like
Yeah.
you
time.
are
Should be.
potentially spreading disease. Although if you're licking ice cream, I'm pretty sure you'll fucking die on the ice cream. But you're spreading germs for one. You're essentially I guess it could count as eating the food and not paying for it,
True.
even if you eat like 1% of it
Mm.
as a result of licking it. But I mean, yeah, like that could technically count as like shoplifting
Fucking
in
up
like
the
the
product.
weirdest kind of way.
So, for example, if I walked into an aisle and there were just crisps everywhere and just start punching every single bag, so they're like grinded.
Like the moment you lick it, like the stock can't be sold. So you do cost the business money, and it damages in some way.
Theft, losing money.
And like most ice cream has either a breakable seal or plastic around the edges that you have to take off. Unless it's Tesco, then it's just a tub where you go,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I think the main thing is like,
It's disgusting.
I still like, I don't know, shoplifting or whatever, but it's quite minor in comparison to just the like germs, right?
yeah.
That's pretty minging to, if you don't realize, you go home, you've had a scoop of some ice cream and you're basically just eating
Looking
someone's
up
saliva.
someone's
Like, you know what I
saliva,
mean?
yeah.
It's not the nicest
I mean,
thing.
during COVID times, this would be
Yeah, that would have been like
outrageous.
huge news in COVID, but
Well, there was
we
wasn't
forgot
there,
about that,
wasn't there
don't we?
someone who was going around like licking and spitting on something during COVID? I don't remember
there's
what it
people
was.
licking
There's
toilet
people-
seats
yeah,
and
there's
all
I just remember
sorts,
seeing
wasn't there?
some big one, and I think they did get consequences for it. I just remember that. That's all.
like
This is just silly and dumb, and the fact they recorded themselves, they're double the idiot for it.
It comes back to the first person, isn't it? It's essentially like a prank to get views or whatever.
there was a
It's the
dude
same thing, like.
that took his own blood and he had AIDS and he syringed it into blood oranges. They're being sold.
That's minging.
That is me.
That is minging.
And also,
That's messed
Bad
up.
luck.
That's what
That's
that is.
fucked up.
That's messed up.
Isn't it like, I thought with like HIV, I'm pretty sure like ingesting the blood is not very likely to, you're not likely to contract it
Yeah, but
unless you had sores in your mouth.
there's a health risk to
There is, yeah.
the blood.
I mean, even someone syringing just their own blood into a food
Oh,
is
it's fucking,
minging. Like,
it's fucking grim. But I don't think you're likely to catch HIV like that. It's the reason you get HIV is blood coming into contact with your blood,
Yeah.
which is why you're more likely to get it through anal sex because you're more likely to cause,
Rupture.
like ruptures through
Yeah.
anal sex. So
The more you know, Glenn, the more you know.
I don't know. You also do not want to ingest blood, so
Yeah.
it's already fucked up to begin with.
Pretty fucked up.
Do you want to do the Reddit ones or happy to stop?
Do the Reddit ones.
Debs wants to do the Reddit one.
I like
Okay.
those because I like stories.
So I'm 22. My best friend John is 23, also
Wait,
male.
wait. Hold on, restart. You gotta say my 22 female
Okay.
best friend.
I am a 22-year-old female. My best friend John is a 23-year-old male, and I've been friends since we were kids. As kids, we were very close, and we had a fake wedding, and when we were 7 and 8. In high school, I think I'm gonna sneeze.
Do it.
It went.
Oh,
We recreated the fake wedding pics, and we had one of those pics in his wallet. Since he got with his girlfriend Dina, who's a 23-year-old female, around 2 years ago, John distanced himself from me. We still hang out, but I feel like we always make time for Dina first instead of me. The only way I can see him now is if we go grab coffee every few days, but other than that, he won't come to my house. When we used to have sleepovers and movie nights, and he won't invite me to his house either. I feel neglected and hurt because we've been inseparable since we were small kids. A couple of days ago, I grabbed coffee of him at a coffee shop, and when he opened his wallet to grab his card and pay, I noticed he had put a pic of him and Dina in the place of our fake wedding pic. Oh, God. I asked him about it, and he pointed out how I noticed too, which is the only... Wait, did I read that wrong? I asked him about it and pointed out how I noticed, to which the only thing he said was, "What about it?" I was like, really? Why do you have to take our picture out and replace it with him and Dina? He said Dina's his girlfriend. He doesn't understand why I'm making such a big deal about it. I reminded him she might be his girlfriend, but he can't just throw me away. I've been his best friend since primary school. My picture existed in his wallet first, and he throws it away to replace me with someone he knows significantly less. He got annoyed and told me that once I stop being an immature, annoying brat, he'll talk to me again. Until then, I better leave him to his peace because he's not dealing with my childish tantrum. Am I the arsehole? Yeah, I think when you're in your 20s, you start to realize that you're not always going to be friends with the people you knew. Like,
I mean, I'll be honest. Reading that, it just sounds like she wants to be his boyfriend.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
or just being like over possessive as a friend.
Yeah.
But like, when you get into your
can't happen.
20s, some of the people you knew in school start drifting away. Like you lose friends and you start to like hang out with friends less than you used to. Like she still hangs out with him.
I was gonna say at least from
He's still
what we
making
can
time
tell
for
there,
her.
which is all we can go on. They still hang out. I even think it says they have coffee like weekly. You know, they haven't been completely ditched or anything.
No.
And I mean, you'd expect someone to replace the picture, right?
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean? It's like,
he's still hanging out with her. It seems like the girlfriend doesn't mind her hanging out with him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Enough to go like, there's trust there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a healthy relationship with someone who trusts him to have a friend of the opposite sex, and she's getting all pissy about a really old photo.
You should be happy for your male
be
friend to
fair,
find a partner.
The only thing I can say in that situation is maybe he could have given her the picture and said, "I can't keep it in my wallet."
Yeah, maybe.
But that like so
Well,
minor.
I mean, I'm assuming this is a big assumption, but he's probably still kept the picture. It doesn't sound, he probably didn't be in the bin. It's like you keep the picture, but I understand, like, I don't know. I guess you don't know, do you? Maybe because it could have been the girlfriend being like, "Oh, I'm your girlfriend now." Like
So
that picture
when did
needs
they
to be
when
mine.
did they say she recreated her?
In high school, right?
In high school, yeah.
It's just a picture they've had for like, I don't know, potentially 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. In
I
high
guess it could have
school,
been the
we
girlfriend
recreated
being
the
like-
fake weddings.
You know, at first glance, if you ever open your wallet to strangers or like other friends, they might go, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?"
Yeah,
And it'd be a bit awkward to answer that question.
It's
every
always the
time.
problem with these, right? You don't know
Glenn,
how
I
it come
can't-
about with a girlfriend, right?
Then I can't tell. the
Oh, sorry,
cameras.
mate. You know the buttons.
Yeah, but I don't know if I've done it right or not. That's all.
Yeah, you never know, do you?
Yeah.
How the girlfriend's gone about it.
It
If
makes
she's
sense
been
to
more
replace the
like,
photo because any person you meet and you open your wallet will go, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?" You go, "Oh
No,
no,
that's
that's
my
my
friend."
high school friend. This is
Yeah.
my girlfriend here."
yeah,
It just saves you like 2 sentences worth of info that you have to say every time.
It's also incredibly embarrassing. I would not make a fake wedding picture with my friend. I think that's quite embarrassing.
Me, it's like when people ask me what job I do, and I go, "Oh, I just work in online marketing."
Yeah, there you go.
Because if I tell them I do YouTube, I have to. It's every time I have to go through like,
YouTube. How does that work?
yeah, how does
do
it
you get
work?
paid?
And I have to explain to them how ads work and stuff like that.
Ads?
when we were having a lot of work done in the office and I
Yeah.
like popped in, and to be fair, it's mainly like Rob and Ebbs like, sorting it out and stuff, but they'd be like someone doing the windows or the doors or whoever it was, and they'd ask, "What's this place for?" Rob would always be like, "Just tell it how it is, exactly what."
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, "Oh, not again." 'Cause you'd have to go through so much of like how it works. Like, how do you, I understand, like you say it to most people, they're like, "How do you even make money from that?"
Yeah, and I mean, some people
I
are
get
genuinely
it.
interested.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, that's so cool. How's this work? How's that work?" But over like the last 7 years, the amount of times I've explained how AdSense works, I don't want to explain AdSense anymore.
There was one dude, I don't know, he was fixing a car, I think. Yeah, I think he was fixing your wheel.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, what do you guys do?" And I explained to him what we did. And he's like, "Can you guys sponsor me?" I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" Like I had to. I
That's
had to tell
respect the
him.
hustle, that is.
I had to
know
tell
what
him. I
mean?
was like, "I'm pretty sure that our audience that plays video games are not going to be interested in car service in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get a lot of customers there."
Hey, you never know. You can't blame them for asking, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Don't
I
ask,
was
don't
like,
get.
it might not be worth it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we all agree that it's a bit over the top. Like, I mean, it's not.
It's not like a
being that
friend.
much of an asshole. Like, but
It's not even a friend. Even like ditched her. He hangs out with her still. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's getting a bit. If she's getting pissy over like a fake wedding photo that she made in high school, like to recreate, I think she does want to be with him.
Yeah.
And that's a completely
mean-
different situation, right?
I'm sorry,
So-
but the childhood friend never wins. Have you not watched anime?
But then it's also like sleepovers and shit.
Maybe if you want to be with him, you should have sucked his dick.
Yeah.
you had your chance at the sleepovers.
Yeah.
Come on, you're 22 and you haven't announced your feelings to him yet? Come on. No,
I
but
don't know.
the reality is we don't know.
Yeah, there's not enough info.
But, if you're getting pissy over a wedding photo, you probably like him.
my god.
Okay. Right. Then there's one more then.
I never got to say what.
Oh, right.
Oh, Stan didn't get to put his opinion in.
Right.
I do think it's a bit much to get that sort of reaction to it. It very much is shedding a lot of the same points everyone else said. There probably is feelings there, and at that point, that's probably why she's a bit bitter about it. But
Give us a hot take.
a hot take.
Yeah.
A hot take means like an unpopular one for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Yes, your
Well,
true
a hot take
feelings.
is that you're dropping a take that you truly believe in, and you don't give a fuck whether people agree with you or not.
Something
I
along the
don't think
lines
I have
of
one for this.
Fuck it. You should have gone a
Damn.
step further and just cut off all contact with her completely. Boom.
Boom.
Who gives a fuck about childhood friends?
I just think it was.
damn.
JK, bro, JK. Still love you, Glenn.
Oh yeah, you too. Oh, I hit the wrong button anyway. But no, it's like
randomly put flash me after it. Like,
no, it's just quite an overreaction, to be honest. Quite in the wrong. I think you need to take a moment to realize that it's an old photo, and I mean, it just completely makes sense to have a picture of your partner and they're over someone who's not.
okay, here we go, Stan. Right, you get a girlfriend
Right. Okay, that's a big ask. All right, but
in
go
the
on.
next 2 months. Oh, my throat started tickling as soon as I started this. Right.
Yeah.
Basically, before I need water, would you let her have a sleepover with Daz?
Wait.
What?
What?
She becomes friends with Daz.
Right.
Oh.
Then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go sleep over Daz's.
How long have I been in this?
That's up to you. Like, it's a fake relationship.
Let's just say 2 years.
Sorry, I'm basically saying, like,
2 years.
say you've. Oh my god, sorry. I can't
Jesus
talk.
Christ, Glenn, get it
You're
out
in a
of your life.
relationship, right?
Right.
They're friends with Daz, and then like good friends, and then they're like, "Oh, I'll sleep over with Daz's." You're like, "What are you doing?" You know, popcorn, watch a movie, like bare Netflix.
I mean,
Okay, a bit of Netflix is sus there, Glenn.
you're making it like you're making it sound more sus than it is. But like, you know, I'm not gonna be
I don't know,
controlling.
what else are they gonna do?
Well, I don't know, sleepover, Glenn. I don't know. Like, I just, if that's what they want to do what you do. But like, I mean, I'm not gonna be controlling. That's not my space. If they're friends, they're friends. Do what they want. You know, it's not like.
See, that I would
What
be
am I
like, I wouldn't even get into that relationship.
It's
Well,
difficult.
I
one,
can
isn't it?
go
know.
for a sleepover at Daz's.
No.
That'll be Dale's place anyway.
Yeah, it is Dale's place.
True.
I'll be hanging out with Alon.
No, it just wouldn't be a relationship I would even start, I guess.
Like
I don't have to be controlling. I just wouldn't get in it.
Like it definitely is a
But
different
if you've
thing.
been in it
but I
for
don't
2
know.
years and
I
then
don't know.
all of a sudden it was like, oh, can I go for a sleepover?
I guess that's
That'd be
different
even
though, innit?
weirder.
If you meet someone and they're already like long-term friends with people, then you kind of accept that when you get together, I guess, right? But if you've been with them and then they start like making, I don't know, new friends or whatever, or hanging out more with new people, then I guess you can be a bit more like, not sure about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wouldn't get in a relationship.
I mean, unfortunately, the thing is as well, there's a big hypothetical for me. I've never been in a relationship, so I have no idea how I'll feel or what I'll feel. I can have a level head about it and maybe say I'll be chill, but I might not. I don't know.
He might go nuts.
People fuck.
I care a lot about my friends. Maybe I get a little bit possessive in places, and maybe that might reflect poorly in a relationship. Or
Sorry.
maybe I'll be completely
I'm sorry,
fine. I don't know.
but
I don't know.
But jump way too many steps there. But
Yeah,
I
no.
took that. It's like,
I don't
I
like
care
it.
about my friends. Daz needs to bang. I'll let him bang.
I don't. So this is like anecdotal, right? So
Yeah.
it's not even like good evidence. But I've known girls who have like majority, or like I've known girls who have like guy friends who are best friends, and every single time they've been like, "Yeah, I let him have a go once."
Ew.
You know what I mean?
What?
So like my experience with that has been that like that's the only thing I know.
Yeah, okay.
Like they've been best friends with opposite sex, and every instance they've been like, yeah, we had to go once.
I feel like that would change the relationship
Yeah,
a lot.
100%. I think it's going to be a very uncomfortable friendship after that.
Now there's gonna be like people in the comments like, I've never touched my best friend in that way. It's cool, bro. It's cool. That's why it's anecdotal.
Okay, we'll move on to the final one then.
I'm a huge Beyonce fan. I've been my whole life, especially being a Houston, Texas native. This is my first time being able to afford a ticket to a show, and I'm currently living back and forth between Sweden and the States. I've never been to a concert in Sweden, and I was very shocked by how unlively the crowd was. No dancing or singing really for most people in my section. Closest what's GA mean to the stage?
I don't know.
Something access?
Maybe.
General access.
General access? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I was out of my seat singing and having a blast, and as soon as the show started, and a woman and her partner behind me asked if I could sit down so they could be able to see. I assumed since she was starting the show with ballads, I was doing a bit much and apologized and sat. Once the energy picked up, back up, I was back up on my feet dancing. There were like 2 other people on my row doing the same. I honestly had the time of my life and even cried a bit. Ridiculous, I know. When the show was over and I turned to leave, the lady said, "You're not the only one who paid for the show, you know. Is that how they act in your village?" And I was too stunned to say anything back. I could understand if this was an orchestra concert or something, but her latest album is focused on house music, and the ballroom scene is very lively. This happened weeks back, but I can't enjoy my memories of the experience because I keep getting this pit in my stomach feeling like I ruined someone else's experience. I don't really know.
I've been to a opera, and that's obviously in an opera setting, and if you speak even a word, you get shushed. I've also been to a concert for a metal band in in a theater. It's not like a proper stage or like outdoor stage where people can like jump and move and do mosh pits. Like actual seats, an opera setting, right? There were still some, like there were people that were there that were banging their heads to metal. And then there were other people that were just sitting there and enjoying it, like opera people. So I think...
I don't know. I guess like I assume Beyonce shows are like really packed, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like the person behind them can move, and the only other thing they can do then, I guess, is just stand up. Which ideally you don't want to stand up for a whole concert.
Well, I guess that's what I mean. It depends on. I've only ever been to mainly like like rock and metal shows and stuff.
Yeah,
but like if you're more involved and want to like, I don't know, dance, jump about, or whatever,
you'd be on the
I'd say
ground
you
floor.
go for the stand-in tickets,
Yeah.
right? But then I've seen 2 concerts where we've sat down, and like at points, people in the sitting area got up and they're singing and jumping about and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know whether it's because I don't know those types of bands and that you expect it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
a lot of
And
stuff I've
that's
seen
just,
like
part of it, like
when the exciting stuff comes on, even when I'm in the stands, I see people like stand up and they're like
Yeah.
dancing, and they're like, I don't care.
But I guess it is a bit of like, I don't know, read the room as well.
But the
I
thing
mean,
is for me as well is that you can't, if you sat down,
yeah,
you kind of need to watch the big screens, right? Mm-hmm. Is it possible for someone standing in front of you to block access to like multiple monitors?
I don't know, but I mean, with a concert, like that happens. Even if you stand, right, this tall person stands in front of you. There's not a lot you can do.
I mean,
it's
like
just-
for me, like I went to that metal band thing, right? But in a theater setting. And even if the dudes in front of me started like standing up and blocking my view, I couldn't be mad about it because these people are enjoying the show.
Yeah.
And it's a metal band. It's crazy stuff. Like you should be standing up and applauding them and screaming.
Yeah,
and if I can't see, I'll just stand up too.
I don't know if Beyonce is like a different setting.
That's what I mean. It's
Oh,
hard to.
yeah.
I've never been to a Beyonce concert, so like, but I mean, I went to see Ed Sheeran, right?
Yeah.
I sat down. Loads of people stood up in the seats singing and everything. I mean, I wouldn't say like Ed Sheeran's that of a like mental, energetic performance. Listen, I went in it not really expecting that, and I was quite surprised.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's without really knowing Beyonce, and that it's hard to.
I could also say because she's American, right? But she's in Sweden.
Yeah.
Sometimes Swedish people can be a little bit like more reserved. And
Well, I guess that's what this is making out, isn't it? They're saying like
Maybe.
nobody was doing everyone was
Yeah,
sat down.
yeah.
but-
I
It's
think
not
it's a
my
norm.
fault. It's because she's fucking Swedish.
But that's what I meant about read the room, though, innit? Like,
Yeah.
if you're in an arena, and I don't know how many, I don't know, say there's like 4,000 people seated. If it's just around the outside and everyone else is standing, you're the only one who's like going doolally, sat down. I guess at some point you kind of got to be like,
As well, I think if the person behind you says like, "Can you please not stand up? I can't see." Like,
respect it, of
Yeah.
course. But like, I don't know. She says she's a huge Beyonce fan. Like, I think she should just enjoy the moment as much
the person
as
behind her is a
can.
Beyonce fan as well.
Yeah, but like, enjoy it. Like,
Didn't get to fucking see Beyonce, did she?
fucking lift her up on your shoulders, like, woo,
Yeah.
enjoy Beyonce
I don't know.
together.
Like I said, most of the concerts I've been to, you'd expect it.
Yeah.
Whether you're sat, if you're in the standing bit or the seated bit.
I don't know. If somebody,
At some
I guess,
points.
like, even if I was at a metal concert, if someone said, like, look, you are making it really hard for me to see, I'd be like, okay, I will sit down. So, yeah.
I don't know. I went to see Prodigy, and there was a woman that was like really small. I could have pushed myself in front of her, but I was like, it's perfect. She's right across, like, she's right in front of me. I'm bigger than her. I want to be right behind her. I was like her protective shield as well. I was with her. I have no idea who this woman was.
You know what? I've also really solved that problem. Swapping seats.
True.
Like, I don't know.
Seats?
I don't know if the group size were the same, but like, she could have been like, I swap then.
Yeah.
You sit in front of me, I'll stand up.
Well, wasn't it one person and then there was two people behind them?
She was there with.
I don't know.
Dunno.
Either way, I don't know. It's hard to say.
But if she's like a genuinely good fan, like just like dancing, singing, and standing up, and I'm like making a fuss, then I don't see the harm in it because you're just enjoying the show, right? And besides, like if Beyonce
I guess
can
maybe
see
she
you,
was there on her own.
Possibly.
but like if Beyonce can see you and she can see a fan that is like really energetic and excited, wouldn't that cheer up Beyonce?
Yeah, but who gives a fuck about that?
I don't know.
She's got an entire stadium full.
Yeah.
True. But like I feel like if you're a performer and the whole entire stadium is like, wow, you feel a little bit better. Then the whole entire stadium in Sweden is just like,
Yeah, but also everyone in that stadium has feelings.
Yeah, but again, no, you don't know if it's just the seated people who are like that, and then the people standing up are like.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, right?
mental.
If they can't swap seats because it says like the one behind her and her partner, and she's on her own, so they can't swap. If you're
Even
there
just
on
ask-
your own and you're standing and going fucking nuts on your own, what the fuck?
maybe she had a few babies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's very much so to read the room, and they were asked once already. I get wanting to enjoy yourself, but also, I don't know, it might just be a me thing, but they said like with two other people in that row doing it as well, I'd feel very awkward doing it on my own as well.
You,
It's
you
like,
swap seats with me and I'll sit next to your partner. You have Beyonce, I love you, boy.
Oh, I also just realized I was like, I've only ever been to like rock metal concerts. And I'm like, I went to Ed Sheeran. He's not really like that metal, is he?
Yeah, I don't mind Ed Sheeran. Then I went to his concert, and then I realized all his music sounds the same.
Yeah, my mom and her sister, my sister rather, sorry, really like Ed Sheeran. So every time they go, they invite me and Ebs, and it's like the seating area around the side is kind of like chill.
Yeah, you said it was quite good though, right?
Yeah, he puts on a.
It's pretty cool what he does on his own.
Yeah, he puts on. It's very theatric, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a shame that when we went, it rained, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
it
little
was-
bit soggy.
It was pissing down, and he just kind of like took it like a champ, got soaked. Didn't even say as well, like he was the previous day he was dancing around and fell over on stage, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a warning. He was like, listen, I did this yesterday, and it was a bit wet, and I slipped and fell, so don't be alarmed if it happens again.
Right,
I mean,
know.
and the stage was twisting and moving.
Yeah,
and shit.
he had like a constantly like rotating stage, and on every quadrant on the stage was his loop pedal mix all mixed to the same system. Kind of cool, very complicated.
Really cool though.
It was alright, wasn't it?
Both songs sound the same.
I was fucking freezing.
Really? I was comfortable.
Me.
Not the bad weather, it's the bad cleather.
Okay. Well, on that then, I think we should. I think we should end. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Wow.